How about now? Good? Good? All right. All right. Good? Good, good. All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Robinson Park here in Wisconsin Rapids for Merriwood South girls softball here tonight. Don Zaleski Sports. It is the visiting Auburndale Eagles and the home Assumption Royals. Steve Maves, Paul J. Glinski, Olivia Zimmerman here from beautiful Robinson Park in Wisconsin Rapids. Game 2 of this conference matchup. Assumption took the game last night 2-1 up in Auburndale and continued to play well after their 2 losses they had this year. Not good. The 6 wins have been pretty impressive for the Royals so far. But again, conference play, Morgan Griesbach back in the circle for the Auburndale Eagles, and never easy in the Merriwood South.
Yeah, Steve, it was a really interesting game last night. As you'd expect, Macy Vollert and Morgan Griesbach conducted a significant pitching duel. Both pitchers really battled hard, struck out, got big outs when they took a look at it. For each pitcher, though, it was their defense in the 5th inning that cost them. For Assumption, Auburndale got their run home on a dropped bunt sacrifice fly, which was kind of a weird piece. But it was a bunt attempt on a suicide squeeze play that was dropped that allowed Auburndale to get on the board. Macy Vollert settled in and got herself out of a very tough jam in the inning. And then in the top half of the next inning, Anna Schooley started off with a single that Maya Krings was unable to go ahead and field at shortstop. Ari Kavanaugh ended up with a hit. Claire Nelson ended up kind of advancing both runners with a bunt. And then again, it was Auburndale defense that kind of failed them on some coverage, giving up the 2 runs, and that was kind of it. But it was a cold, windy day yesterday. The sun is shining. It's not quite as windy here today. I'm curious to see now on day 2 of seeing these pitchers and seeing those lineups if we're going to get a little bit more offensive play, because one of the things both teams did a nice job yesterday of putting the ball in play, and that's not something we saw last year, Steve, when Auburndale came to Robinson last year.
Yep, absolutely right, and it'll be a good battle here this afternoon. Today's pregame show is brought to you by Next Step Prosthetics, providing prosthetics and orthotics throughout central Wisconsin. Take your next step and contact them today. Assumption will be off after today until next week when they host, or they have 2 against Edgar, I believe. But the Merriwood South is wide open this year. The top 3, top 4, Assumption, Auburndale, Stratford, Marathon, Newman, and Edgar having down years this year, but always a battle when all 6 teams play each other.
Interesting, you make mention of Edgar having a down year. Still have got 5 wins on the season. That will not be, an easy ball game. I did see yesterday Stratford was victorious over the Newman Cardinals 15-0. So that appears to be perhaps the weakest of the opponents. But again, as you state, Steve, never an easy night in the Merriwood South. And tonight I expect that we're going to get another good one.
Yeah, 10 strikeouts for Macy Vollert last night. Morgan Griesbach finished with 9. And as you mentioned, the weather playing a big factor. Obviously, last night cold and windy and dreary and darkish. Today sunny, windy, and a little tad bit warmer. But both teams have to deal with it. They got to figure it out. So
2 interesting side thoughts that I'm kind of fascinated with in this ball game is that, one, back-to-back nights, we know that one of the things in high school softball is that strike zone is a touch different from umpire to umpire, right? So not only what type of adjustments will the pitchers make, but what type of adjustments will the hitters make, considering you take a look at it. And then 2, I wonder, one of the things that I'd like to ask whoever the winning coach is and whoever the winning player, the Zaleski Sports highlight player is it an advantage to play a team back-to-back when you've got quality pitchers and opponents? You want to see them from a timing standpoint, the way that ball moves. You're going to get 6, 7, 8 at-bats over the course of 2 days against that pitcher, compared to if you don't see them for 2 or 3 days, or in basketball, you play them once in November and then not again until January. I don't know if that's an advantage or a disadvantage, Steve, honestly. So I'll be curious to see on how that plays out.
Yeah, and originally tonight's game was supposed to be the first of the games, and then these 2 teams were supposed to play again on Thursday up in Auburndale. That got switched like in November or December, but originally it was Tuesday, off Wednesday, play Thursday. So it got moved to Monday, Tuesday, and yeah, we'll see how it all pans out. Works as well. Don't want to get too much into it, but Holy Week this week for Easter, and able to have things settled down now for people to deal with church activities and stuff.
Now, I had heard they moved it because of WrestleMania, but same theory coming up. Maybe depending on how it goes. Maybe depending on how it goes, we'll get into that. Busy night on the network here tonight, Steve, on Zaleski Sports. So I see that the Marshall Tigers are taking on Rapids Lincoln in softball.
Yep.
I see that we've got Pacelli and Medford. That's a really nice non-conference matchup between two teams that are off to a terrific start. I was looking at common opponents. Last night, Medford beat Merrill by 11 in 5 innings. Pacelli beat them earlier, I think last week, Friday, by 5 or 6. So that should be a really interesting ball game. On the baseball side of it, you got Greenwood and Loyal, DC Everest and Marshfield, Merrill and Spash, which is always important, and then Rapids Lincoln against East. So another busy night on the network from a spring sports. So hopefully, as Jason would say, grab your iPad, grab your iPhone, grab your computer, maybe your smart TV. Let's get everything on. But I would think on the network we've got the potential to have maybe perhaps the best of the ball games tonight.
That DC Everest baseball team is going to be very interesting this year, losing all-state pitcher like Nate Langben and losing the guys that they did. Everest, it'll be interesting to see how the Evergreens figure it out this year. So as we will get our starting lineups here in just a moment. As we get ready here, we'll see what Charlie and Rob want to do. It looks like they're just ready to play here, and so that is what we will do. The starting lineups first for the visiting Auburndale Eagles. Batting first, this is one of the more remarkable things, I guess, healing-wise. I mean, Maya Krings tore partially, I think, tore her ACL in basketball 3 months ago, and really good to see Maya back out there as the leader and shortstop of this Auburndale Eagles team. Morgan Griesbach in the circle, Breely Grimm at second base, Danica Blomberg behind the plate, Taylor Anderson at first, Chesney Nagel is in center field, Maya Katzenberger at third base, Grace Schulte in right field, and Jalen Schur out in left for the Lady Eagles.
Last night, Steve, in addition to being great on the mound, Griesbach was very tough with the bat. And Elena Owie in the first inning made a diving stab that kept Auburndale off the board, and I thought really changed that game. So I'll be curious to see if the top of the order for the Eagles can come out and jump again onto Macy Vellard as they did with the start yesterday. If it was not for a fantastic play by Owie, they would have had an early lead, which I think would have really swung that game.
We mentioned it last year. Not a great start for Macy against Adams Friendship a couple weeks ago, but she has been just about as good as she's ever been the last couple of games. Yeah,
down the state run for Assumption, really all the way to Pacelli, she was unhittable, just absolutely rolled through lineups as you take a look at it there. And again, she seems to have found that momentum. So Assumption in their white with the blue pinstripe here today, Steve, for those watching at home. Obviously, the Auburndale Eagles in a, would you say it's a navy blue? It's kind of a pretty blue. I'm not sure if it's a navy blue or not, but we're going to call it a navy blue. And again, they've got kind of a white stripe pattern down the side and on the arms. Both teams in sharp uniforms across the way. And I love the helmet stickers that Krings and some of the different folks have. Again, if depending upon where the highlight house comes from, I'd like to ask what they mean and how they get those as well.
First pitch this afternoon at 4:50 is lined to left, and that is a great start for the Auburndale Eagles. Kylie Carroll gets it in, and it's a leadoff double for Maya Krings.
The aforementioned knee for Krings looked very strong there, as not only was she able to go ahead and turn on a first pitch fastball and pull it down the left field line for a double, but she was able to go ahead and show off her speed. So you love to see her healthy and out playing. Congratulations to Maya. I'm glad that worked out.
Yeah, good start going right after the first pitch. Now Morgan Griesbach looks at a ball away, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Give you the defensive alignment here in just a moment for the Assumption Royals. And the 1-0 offering. Popped up, foul territory, and out of play. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. You were mentioning uniforms. For the teams that I've covered this teams that I've covered at least the first couple weeks of the spring season, they're really it's going to be 2-1 on the missed pitch from Macy Vollard. She slipped a little bit in the sand.
Now, she had started the delivery. What's interesting about that is that the ball did not get outside of the circle. So that's umpire discretion at that particular portion because, again, if the ball rolls outside of the circle, it's a mispitch. But in that particular regards, because it did not get outside of the circle, you could have gone ahead and caused that a pause. But, again, I think probably the right call for a ball on that. So count now becomes 3 balls, 2 strikes with a runner on second here in the top of the first inning.
But as I was mentioning, they're really, especially in central Wisconsin, there are a lot of very good uniforms. And Vollard misses just a tad bit high. 2 base runners to start here for the Eagles.
For the Royals, out in left field, you have Kylie Carroll. In center field, you have Ari Kavanaugh. And in right field, you have freshman Emerson Bry.
2 runners on, nobody out here for Auburndale in the top half of inning number 1. He'll bring up Breeley Grimm, the second baseman. Squares the bunt, gets it down nicely. Vollard steps, throws over to first. And Breeley Grimm gets the job done on the sacrifice bunt. And there's just 1 away.
Steve, finishing that defensive alignment for the Royals. So at third base, you have Delaney Hahn. At shortstop, you have Anna Schooley, state champion Anna Schooley. At second base, you have Elena Owie. At first base, you have Brianna Owie. On the mound, of course, Macy Vollard. And behind the plate, a fixture for these Royals, their captain, Claire Nelson.
Danica Blomberg now at the plate. 2 in scoring position here for Auburndale. The first offering a bit high, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. You mentioned the difference of a strike zone and the high strike not being called so far early here for Macy. That was going to be driven deep to left field. Backing up on it is Carroll. That one's going to one-hop the wall. Krings will score. Griesbach will score, and a 2 RBI double for Auburndale's Danica Blomberg, and a throwing error, and Blomberg gets to third. So 2 runs in. Krings and Griesbach, and Blomberg gets to third on the error.
Considering how runs were at a premium last night, Steve, that's a really big overthrow and base advancement from Schooley to Hahn on that overthrow, allowing her to go ahead and advance to third base.
I'll bring up Taylor Anderson, the first baseman. 2-0 Auburndale early here in the top of the first. Now it gets away, not far enough away for Blomberg, and it's 1-0 to Taylor Anderson. Chesney Nagel waits on deck. Anderson, one of a couple of seniors on this Auburndale team, rolls in there again, does Vollard, and it's 2-0.
So Steve, it's interesting considering last night Auburndale had a hard time squaring up Vollard. It goes back to where our conversation comes from, is seeing her on back-to-back nights.
Going to be grounded right underneath the glove of Vollard. Backhanded by Owie. No play. And an RBI single for Taylor Anderson.
And that's where the overthrow is such a big piece because she certainly would have found her way to third base on that, but you'd have first and third now with 1 out instead of a third run in, which could be a potentially big run. So Auburndale explodes for 3 runs here, and they're still not done with the runner on first base, only 1 out.
Chesney Nagel at the plate, squares the bunt, pulls it back in there for a strike anyway, and it's 0-1 to Chesney, the center fielder for the Eagles. Good start for Auburndale here in the top of the first, leading 3-0 with only 1 out. Couple of doubles already for Auburndale. Squares the bunt, pops it up, and fouls it away. 0-2 with Maya Katzenberger on deck.
Steve, in addition to having conference implications, this game also has interesting sectional implications as well, as Pacelli, Auburndale, Assumption, Marathon, Partyville, a few others, all in that same sectional.
The 0-2. Swung on and missed, and down goes Chesney Nagel. That's the first Serve Pro Jamie Wenzel strikeout of the night. Call Jamie Wenzel at Serve Pro for the number one choice in cleanup and restoration. Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
So, Steve, I don't want to come back to it because I promise I'll get off of it. But instead of first and third now with 2 outs, that overthrow allows that extra run to come in. I'll be curious to see if that plays a factor down the stretch here or not.
Hits the outside corner to Maya Katzenberger, and it's 0-1 to the Auburndale third baseman. Maya, an outstanding three-sport athlete for Auburndale, as many of these girls are. Now it's high and away. Score from across town, not even really across town, but up the road a little bit. Wisconsin Rapids 3, Marshfield 0 in the bottom of the second inning in girls softball. The 1-1 to Katzenberger. That one's going to be hit hard to right center field. That's trouble, and hits the base of the wall. Coming around to score will be Taylor Anderson. No, they'll hold her up. But the third double of the first inning, and Katzenberger just missed that one from being a home run.
Really, it did a nice job of taking a high outside, perhaps rise ball. It was up in the zone one way or the other. I don't know if it was a rise ball or not. And drove that to the deepest part of the park out in right center field. Hit it off the fence. So second and third, 2 outs.
Still not done here as Grace Schulte looks at a strike, the right fielder.
Huge opportunity for Grace to go ahead and, if she can find some grass, to perhaps knock in 2 runs and make this 5-0 and really help Auburndale get off to a great start in this game.
The 0-1. Outside corner gets the strike, and it's 0-2 to Grace. Pacelli Medford about to get underway up there. DC Everest Marshfield baseball just about to start up as well at Jack Hackman Field tonight. The 0-2 to Schulte. High and away, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jalen Schur waiting on deck for Auburndale. The 8th hitter here of the first inning is Grace Schulte. 2 on, 2 out, 3 across. The 1-2. Nice battle there by Schulte, staying alive.
Cue the Bee Gees music. Staying alive, staying alive. All right, enough singing. I'm getting dirty looks.
Katzenberger and Anderson, the runners, at second and third, respectively, the 1-2. And fouls it off again. Remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. From head to toe for all your orthopedic needs, place your trust in Wisconsin River Orthopedics. Learn more at WROinstitute.com. A ball and 2 strikes here to Schulte. Fowler looks in and fires home. Got her looking on the inside corner, and that'll end the first inning. A very successful first inning for Auburndale. They score 3, they leave 2. We've played a half an inning. It's Auburndale 3, Assumption coming up. You're watching high school softball on Zaleski Sports, presented by ShedsDelivered.com.
Hi, I'm Shad from Next Step Prosthetics. 5 years ago, we opened our practice to provide life-changing prosthetics that are both comfortable and functional.
I would definitely recommend Shy.
Shy is very compassionate, caring.
We've grown to serve patients throughout Wisconsin. We want to thank them, their families, and providers who have trusted us on their journey.
Go to Next Step, because it's going to change your life.
Why wait another day? Call to set up a free, no-obligation evaluation. Let us take the next step together towards a better life.
Are you tired of being a boring old tree, bird, or mythical war hero? Find the right job for you at Express Employment. Stop today and discuss positions that fit your abilities and qualifications, leading you to the perfect job. Always local, always strategically selected to match your skill set with local employers. There's a perfect job out there. Let Express Employment professionals help you find it. In Wausau, Stevens Point, Medford, and Marshfield. Find jobs and apply online at expresspros.com.
All right, Auburndale scores 3 times on 3 hits. There was an error and 2 runners left on base in that first inning. All 3 hits for Auburndale were doubles. And Anna Scully will lead things off against Morgan Griesbach here in the bottom of the first.
Last night there was a big wind that was blowing in across the Auburndale field from really left field straight to home, Steve. So a lot of those balls got hung up and pushed, really kind of taking a look at it. Tonight it looks like you have a little bit of a crosswind, although it's nowhere near as windy. And it almost looks like at times that it's either blowing out or it's blowing from right to left. So it should be a more of a hitter-friendly wind is, I guess, kind of what I'm trying to say.
1 ball, no strikes here to Anna Schooley. Griesbach fires and hits the outside corner, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Schooley followed by Kavanaugh and Nelson.
Steve, it was so windy last night. Actually, when I went home, I debated going ahead and buying a wind chime. It seemed like it was a pretty sound investment. So it,
1 ball and 1 strike. Olivia's shaking her head over here. Schooley lines that one past third and foul, right past Katzenberger, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Schooley, Kavanaugh, Nelson, Vollert, Owie, Norton, Hahn, and Bry for Assumption here tonight.
So Norton came in as a pinch hitter last night for Lexi Stofflet. So Coach Nelson making a change in the lineup, inserting Norton into the starting lineup as the designated player.
1 ball and 2 strikes here to the senior Anna Schooley. 1-2. Outside, just missed. Evens it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2:10, the dimensions here at Robinson Park, all around the outfield fence. And right now, blowing straight out to left center field. The 2-2 to Anna. And pops it way early out of play, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Metallico in Wisconsin Rapids is one of North America's largest aluminum billet and slab producers. Come get to know Metallico and how their mission, visions, and values set them apart. Find your future job at Metallico and apply online at metallico.com. Griesbach fires home. And that was going to be blooped into left center field right in front of Schur. And Anna Schooley leads things off. It was bobbled by Schur, and Schooley's going to take second base.
So I believe the theme of the night, Steve, is that if you get a hit, you automatically have to go stand in second. That's the 4th ball we've seen put into play, and the 4th runner of the game on second base. So Schooley with a good start for the Royals. So they've dug themselves a 3-0 hole, but on third base you have Anna Schooley, and now comes up Ari Kavanaugh, who last night had 3 hits and really played well.
Kavanaugh had a big night at the plate last night for sure for the Royals. Schooley stands at second base. Of course, Morgan Griesbach led this Auburndale team to their first ever softball state tournament appearance last year before falling to Cuba City in the state semifinal. That was going to be popped up behind second. Nice catch over there at second base by Breely Grimm. And there's 1 away.
Kavanaugh has done a nice job against Griesbach in terms of trying to take her to right field. You can see an adjustment there where they tried to work her inside. That's an adjustment from last night compared to trying to throw that outside ball. Ari's still trying to go ahead and take it the opposite direction, but in too far on her hands. So 1 out, runner on second base, 3-0 Auburndale here in the bottom of the first inning from Robinson Field. Robinson Park? Robinson.
Claire Nelson had the plate, a big swing and a miss there, and it's 0-1. They talk about the Merowith South just all the time. Last year, it was Assumption and Auburndale going to state. 2 years ago, it was Assumption, Stratford going to state. And now, as Nelson fouls that one off, and it's 0-2, she gets a little tinging on her hand there. The unfortunate part now this year is that 3 teams from the Merowith South are in the same sectional. Stratford got moved up into Section 1 this year. But
the Marathon, Auburndale, and Stratford boys are just letting you know that they have zero empathy for that situation. As Jason and Dan typically refer to that sectional as the Merowith South Conference tournament. In terms of where it goes, but it feels like that's kind of the same piece, with one exception of Pacelli, of course, the number 1 team in the state being in now that sectional, and Stratford being in an opposite sectional.
The 0-2. And Nelson goes down swinging, and there's 2 away. Griesbach gets her again. A couple times last night, 1 time tonight.
Yeah, Steve, I think she struck out 2 total times last season. It's unusual to see Claire struggle to make contact. She's typically such a good 2-strike hitter.
Macy Voller pops this one up, and anything could happen there, but Breely Grimm makes a nice catch and ends the first inning. No runs on a base hit, one left. We played one complete. 3-0 Auburndale. You're watching Softball on Zaleski Sports, presented by ShedsDeliver.com.
Ski's Meat Market is your locally owned premier meat market filled with so many delicious favorites featuring hundreds of varieties of bratwurst, chicken, pork, steak, and so much more. No matter what you're looking for, everything you'll find at Ski's Meat Market is always fresh with so many local gems including pizzas, salsas, deli meats, and a variety of homemade dips, pasta salads, veggies, loaded baked potatoes, and drinks. Ski's is a one-stop shop for all your culinary needs. They're always adding new flavors and specialty products. Ski's Meat Market on Highway 10 East in Stevens Point. Their quality is worth the stop.
The auto service specialist at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service can change your oil, fix your brakes, align your vehicle, make that check engine light go away, and more. Great service from great people at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
Jalen Sure to lead things off here for the Eagles. 9-1-2 for Auburndale as they nearly batted around in that first inning. Assumption got a leadoff base hit from Anna Schooley, pop-up, a strikeout, and a pop-up to the next three hitters, and they left her stranded. Auburndale looking to increase it here in the top of the second. And Sure pops this one up to Kavanaugh in center field. She tracks it down and makes the play, and there's one away.
You can see Ari Kavanaugh is one of the most sure-handed center fielders you'll run into, but you can see that wind really pushing it. She tracked it all the way to the end. She's like, ah! Nice play out there by Ari.
That'll bring up Maya Kring. She doubled the lead off the game on the very first pitch to left field. And that is a foul ball. And Coach Schulte is going to ask if it was touched. It was pretty close to being touched by Delaney Hahn, and it's 0-1. It's pretty close. If she touched it, it would have been a fair ball. And it's 0-1 here to Maya Krings. I don't know if there's any plastic underneath those stickers on Maya's helmet. I mean,
it kind of reminds me, for those that maybe can't necessarily see it on the camera too well, it looks a lot, or resembles a lot to the Buckeyes on the Ohio State helmet. And she may need a second helmet to go ahead and start taking a look at it. She's got stickers on top of stickers on top of stickers, as you'd expect a senior who's had the type of career that she's had to go ahead and have from a decoration standpoint.
2 balls and a strike to Maya Krings. And that one's away, 3-1. That first pitch that Maya barely fouled off, that was an off-speed pitch to try and get her off balance, and she's able to stick the bat out and foul it off. 3-1 here from Vollert to Krings. Inside corner, good for a strike. Yeah, Maya was just her first time batting after that knee injury, from what I was told, was last week. She was able to finally bat. So,
well,
her third game batting for.
I was just going to say, she started off this game with an absolute roped double down the left field line. Looked like she was running the bases well. Certainly, I mean, again, the remarkable toughness of her to be able to play shortstop, bat, and run with that knee injury. She's got a pretty significant brace on, but good for her. That's awesome.
3-2 popped up, shallow left. Kylie Carroll tracks it down and makes a catch. Nice play out there by Kylie, and there's 2 away.
You know, Steve, last time I got back up to Park Falls, my old stomping grounds, I had heard that there was a fire at the bakery, so I went by and I checked out the damage. Turns out, Olivia, that business is toast.
Infinity Exteriors, installing peace of mind, roofing, siding, and windows built to last, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. We guarantee quality you can trust. First offering to Griesbach was missed for a ball. 1-0, squares the bunt, gets it down. Vollert steps, throws, and that'll end our second inning. A 1-2-3 inning for Vollert in the circle. We've played 1.5. It is still 3-0 Auburndale. You're watching high school softball on Zaleski Sports, presented by ShedsDeliver.com.
Hi, I'm Josh Marks, owner of Infinity Exteriors. 9 out of 10 brand new roofs can't pass a simple manufacturer warranty inspection, meaning 9 out of 10 brand new roofs have no warranty. Infinity operates on principles instilled in my...
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
Hi, this is Jill from Home Furniture and Design. Since 1970 and 4 generations, our family has been proudly offering quality furniture like Lazy Boy, Serta, and the Amish to Central Wisconsin. We also offer free in-home design with our professionally trained designers to help you create a space that is uniquely yours, whether it's just a sofa or the entire home.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
West Grand Avenue, Wisconsin Rapids.
That'll be Owie Norton here for Assumption in the home half of the second inning, trailing 3-0 are the Royals.
Steve, you know what happens if you throw a donut in the ocean?
What's that?
It gets wet.
That was it?
That's it. That's just letting you know. It's a little bit like saying, you know what type of rocks what type of rocks are not in the rain?
Ones that are inside?
The dry ones.
Yeah.
So it's same theory. So anyway.
Morgan Griesbach in the circle, Alina Owie at the plate, and a foul there by Alina Owie. That's 0-1. Brianna Owie waiting on deck, followed by Jess Norton here for Assumption in the home half of inning number 2.
I had said last night again in the first inning, just want to give a shout out to Alina Owie. The diving play she made on that ball was such a game changer, helping the Royals go ahead and earn that victory. It was, I'm sure, a nice moment for her, but just a heck of a ball play. Sports Center top 10. I was looking for it as a web gem, but it was not on. It was not on.
The 1-1. Trying to check her swing, missed high, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Working all right.
Steve, that wind is really blowing out now here down on the field level.
2 balls and a strike here to Owie. Missed away, and it's 3 balls and a strike to Alina Owie, the Royals second baseman. The 3-1. Outside corner, good for a strike. 3 balls and a strike. Or 3 balls and 2 strikes.
One thing that you find with Griesbach, it's very tough to go ahead and draw a walk against her, Steve. We saw several times last night she was nibbling at the corners and took it 2-2, 3-2, but very rare that she loses a batter.
And there's
the announcer jinx. So okay, one of those case. But again, she's got really pinpoint control, and for the second inning in a row, the Royals have their leadoff runner on base.
I'll bring up Brianna Owie.
I really like to watch Griesbach throw, Steve. She's got a great spin ball, nice control, really a nice ball player.
Elena at first, Brianna at the dish. Misses low and in, and it's 1 ball and no strikes.
One of the things that you found last night with Auburndale as well is that with Griesbach, she is more than willing to take that ball back from the catcher and snap that over to first base, trying to keep those runners honest or trying to pick off their runners to get back.
This is high. 2-0 to the freshman, Brianna Owie. Jess Norton waiting on deck. Griesbach readjusts her face masks. I'll mention those face masks here in a second. I had an opportunity to slow roller to Katzenberger at third, and nice play over there at second base by Grimm, and Brianna Owie will reach on the fielder's choice. Elena out at second base. But I don't know if they're required. They might be required in the state of Wisconsin to wear the infield face masks for the players.
They are not. As you can see, shortstop Maya Krings is not wearing it, although the other 3 are.
Had an opportunity a couple of weeks ago. Jess Norton, slow roller to the pitcher. And Norton will be out. Owie to second. And there's 2 away. Went down to Alabama and watched some softball down there. Had an opportunity to. I don't think there were any face masks even in the bat bags. Nobody wore face masks in Alabama high school softball.
But you were in Alabama. There's no teeth down there either, Steve. So it's it all kind of balances out. So no offense against our friends from Alabama.
First offering to Delaney Hahn, misses high. Runner at second and 2 outs. Couple of nice plays from the infield for Auburndale the last couple of batters. Emerson Bry awaiting on deck. Inside, nearly hits Hahn, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. C&D Auto Body and Repair Sales is your complete auto body repair shop. They provide free estimates and guarantee complete satisfaction. We'll continue here in a second after this pitch. They'll work with your insurance company to make it easy for you and do windshield glass installation too. Contact Chad and Dan at C&D Auto today on County Trunk E in Arpin. 2-1 now here to Hahn.
Chad and Dan, C&E Auto. That makes sense. I like it in terms of where it goes. Nice to take a look at it. So, again, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the second inning, 3-0 Eagles after a big first inning. Brianna Aui, on second base.
Popped up behind first. Grimm settles under it and makes the catch on the lip of the grass and ending the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. There was 1 left on. We've played 2 complete. 3-0 Auburndale, which is high school softball and Zaleski Sports, presented by ShedsDeliver.com.
Culligan Water delivers. From your first call, to your first sip, to your first soak. Culligan, give us a tap. The only water that comes with a van.
Hi, I'm Josh Marks, owner of Infinity Exteriors. 9 out of 10 brand new roofs can't pass a simple manufacturer warranty inspection, meaning 9 out of 10 brand new roofs have no warranty. Infinity operates on principles instilled in my Marine Corps service: honor, courage, and commitment. Infinity is meticulous craftsmanship, unbeatable quality, and always at the best price. Infinity buys more, pays less, passing those savings directly to you. We're booking new roofs, siding, and windows. Call today.
Top of the third inning here. As Auburndale leads 3-0, it'll be Grimm, Blomberg, and Anderson for the Eagles.
Steve, did you have a chance to watch any of the final of that Masters?
I did. Backhanded by Schooley. Tough play across, and not in time. Infield base hit there for Breeley Grimm. Nice play by Schooley, just Grimm able to beat it out.
Thought Annie did everything she could. She fielded that ball deep in her hole, set her feet. Unfortunately, it looks like she slipped with her foot a little bit, so as a result, didn't get everything on that throw that she needed to. Grimm, of course, another strong three-sport athlete for Auburndale, and they get the leadoff runner here in the top of the third.
Danica Blomberg now at the plate. Missed high, and it's 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, pretty amazing finish. I don't know if I've watched a more insane golf tournament than what you kind of ran into. After 12 holes, you really felt like Rory was in control, and then hit that ball in the water, and then his response on 16-7 is Nelson throws it down the first base, but Grimm gets back in time. Good snap throw there from Claire Nelson. So yeah, it was pretty wild in terms of where it goes, including the Justin Rose money putt there on 18 to really make it interesting.
1 ball and 1 strike. Pops it up. Nelson's going to make the catch, and Blomberg's going to be out on the pop-up. And there's 1 away here in the third inning. Taylor Anderson at the plate. She had an RBI single back in the first. I was just curious to see what kind of what you had to do to be able to go to Augusta for a week in Georgia in April. You have to put I think it's a lot like the NCAA tournament. You have to put your name in. You have to put in for a lottery and kind of just be selected. But with the amount of people that were there, I think your odds are pretty high. There's a
So what's interesting about that, Steve, is in the lottery system, Augusta National still uses paper tickets. They have not gone anything digital, of course, because they don't allow cell phones on the floor. That would typically be the definition of safe. But okay. Umpire explaining why she was safe at first base.
1 ball and 1 strike here to Taylor Anderson. Runner at first and 1 out. He hit over to short. That is a fair ball. It was touched by Hahn. And another base hit for Taylor Anderson, 2 for 2 today for the senior. But yeah, going off of the Masters stuff, put your name in. The lottery or draft or whatever is in June. I think you have until like June 26th or something to put your name in, and then you have to pay your entire weekend by July, and that one's going to be another sacrifice bunt for Nagel. And there's 2 away now with runners at second and third for Maya Katzenberger, who drilled a double back in the first.
Yeah, another interesting side thought about your paper tickets, Steve, is that you are not allowed to transfer or resell them in any way, shape, or form. If Augusta National notices that you're doing that, it constitutes an immediate.
That was foul at the plate.
An immediate failure or a forfeiture of tickets without refund, which is kind of interesting. There was actually a fraud case where somebody had won the lottery. The tickets by a scammer got put online. He actually ended up having his tickets taken away. Augusta National contacted him. It was kind of an interesting follow on Twitter this week, which is kind of where I learned a little bit more kind of about that in terms of where it goes.
1 ball and 1 strike to Maya Katzenberger. Fowler fires, swings and misses, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Interesting fact about me, Olivia, that you may not know, I'm actually a scratch golfer. Yep, when I'm on the course, I'm very itchy. So.
1 ball and 2 strikes here to Maya Katzenberger. Doubled in the first. The 1-2. Misses high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Definitely a bucket list event to go down to at some point, but not in the budget quite yet.
I'm not going to lie to you. I would think obviously getting a chance to see and walk Augusta National would be truly outstanding. I think given the choice between the two, though, I would rather take the opportunity to either check out the Indy 500, which they claim is very spectacular, or the Kentucky Derby. Yep. I think both of those would be. I'm a mint julep guy. I could do okay with the bourbon there, I think. 3
balls and 2 strikes. Inside corner and got her looking. Maya doesn't agree, but that'll end our 3rd inning. Auburndale leaves 2 more stranded. They get a pair of hits. They leave 2. We've played 2.5. It's still 3-0 Auburndale. You're watching high school softball on Zaleski Sports, presented by ShedsDelivered.com.
Take your valuable possessions from outdoors to indoors with help from ShedsDelivered.com. It's your one-stop shop for sheds, barns, cabins, garages, greenhouses, chicken coops, and hunting blinds, all crafted by skilled Amish artisans. Headquartered in Loyal, Rod and April make it easy. Just visit ShedsDelivered.com to design your perfect structure. With short lead times and free delivery and installation, Sheds Delivered is the smart choice for outdoor storage. That's ShedsDelivered.com. Go today.
At Nicolay Bank, we believe that our hometown communities are the backbone of what makes Wisconsin special. From Crivets to Manitowoc and Algoma to Grand Chute, you see a thriving community with Nicolay Bank working as a partner, acting not as a corporation, but a community. When we serve together with local entrepreneurs and leaders, great things happen. That is our guiding principle. A strong and successful hometown means a strong and successful Wisconsin. We are proud to be a part of that. Nicolay Bank. Real people, real conversations.
Emerson Bride will lead things off here in the home half of the 3rd inning. It'll be 9-1-2 for Assumption, trailing 3-0 with just a single hit from Anascoli in the first. Griesbach fires home and fouls it off, does Emerson Bride. Whitetail Properties Real Estate is your premier hunting land, farmland, and recreational land broker. If you're looking to buy or sell, Central Wisconsin agents are Brian and Evan Roosh at whitetailproperties.com.
Again, friend of Assumption, Brian Roosh, always a good one to go ahead and contact if you're in need of some land. It's turkey season right around the corner, I think.
Popped up, third base side. Katzenberger in foul territory makes the catch, and there's 1 away. That's one thing so far that 1, 2, 3 out of the 9 batters, 4 pop-ups so far for Assumption offensively. Now Anna Schooley, a bloop double. You don't say that very often. A bloop double for Anna Schooley in the first. Offering from Griesbach away, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. 49 degrees that first pitch. That was about a half hour ago here in Wisconsin Rapids. 1 ball, no strikes. Schooley swings and misses, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. First pitch this afternoon was at 4:50 p.m. here in Wisconsin Rapids.
So bottom of the third inning, Steve, 3-0. Auburndale has got the lead. For those of you just joining us, first of all, thank you for tuning in to watch us on Zaleski Sports. Auburndale was able to score 3 in the top half of the first.
The 1-1, able to stay back. Schooley's going to reach on an infield base hit. Able to just poke it there and reach, and there's 1 on, 1 away.
With her speed, that's a matter of put the ball in play and take a look at it. And again, for the third straight inning, Assumption has put a runner on base. The first 2 innings, they've reached second. They've been not able to get it across. This inning, now they have Schooley back on first base with 1 out. We'll see if Coach Nelson goes ahead and puts her in motion, seeing if they can try to manufacture a run that way.
Ari Kavanaugh pop up back in the first. Runner at first and 1 out. Schooley stays put, and Kavanaugh looks at a strike.
Nobody has really, I would say if there's a hitter you want at the plate for the Royals against Griesbach, I would say it's been Kavanaugh. She's really done a nice job of seeing her, and as I said before, Steve, she's done a good job of driving that ball to right center field.
Able to, now it's going to be hit to right field. Over on it is Schulte coming in. She's going to make the catch, and she's safe. Her foot is off the base. Taylor Anderson's toe, not quite there. And there's 2 away.
Great hustle by Anna Schooley, showing off that speed. Is she was in motion on a hit and run, got herself almost to second base before she realized that ball got caught, and then, as opposed to give up on the play, turned and sprinted back with a great dive to get back in, giving herself a chance to extend this inning. And anytime you bring Claire Nelson up with a runner on base, it's a good opportunity for the Royals to go ahead and get right back in this thing.
Runner at first and 2 outs for Claire. Going to be fouled off in the box, and it's 0-1. Macy Vollard waiting on deck. That was a good job as well by the base umpire. That's one where you just want to try and ring her up if she's out at first. He did a good job, saw Anderson's foot wasn't on the base, and called her safe. Nelson swings and misses.
The crew today is one of the best in central Wisconsin. Doug Kraus behind the plate works very consistently in the WIAC, does a really nice job, and his partner Paul Dean out in the field. Again, this crew is one that if they show up at the ballpark, you can rest assured they're going to do a quality job.
The 0-2, Nelson fouls it off. Have Quality Plus Printing design and print for you. Invitations, tickets, booklets, banners, labels, postcards, programs, and so much more. All done with amazing custom work, quick turnaround time, and awesome customer service. Visit Phil at Quality Plus Printing. They're getting your words out here in Wisconsin Rapids.
Another friend of the school with Phil, again, also the tennis coach over at Assumption.
The 0-2, Nelson fouls it off again at the plate. Ritchie Funeral Home has been serving family after family in Nakusa and Wisconsin Rapids since 1957. Find the very best in personal service at Ritchie Funeral Home or find them online at ritchiefuneralhome.com.
Hopefully everybody's feeling better over there. A lot of coughing going on.
No balls and 2 strikes to Claire Nelson. Griesbach fires home. Slow roller to first and fouls it off again. Econ Electric is your local residential, commercial, and industrial electrical service provider since 1970. Wisconsin Rapids and its surrounding areas have turned to Econ Electric. That's Econ Electric of Wisconsin Rapids.
If Econ Electric doesn't do a good job for you, you'll be shocked.
No balls and 2 strikes. I think you should write these reads. Misses outside, the throw to second, and it trickles into center field, and Schooley steals second base.
Nice job by the center fielder out there for
Nagel.
Auburndale Nagel, going ahead and backing up that play. With Anna's speed, a lot of times if that ball gets over there, you'll find her standing on third. But Nagel with great hustle to try to back that throw up to go ahead and keep her on base. But now, runner in scoring position for Nelson.
Griesbach wheels and fires. And rolls it in there. Nice stop by Blomberg, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Said Econ Electric in Wisconsin Rapids. My brother, actually a employee at Econ Electric. They've been working at the one of the Appleton paper mills, and he said they've just been all over the place. So the 2-2 line foul way out in front, and it remains even at 2-2.
Drinks a lot of coffee in the morning. He's normally pretty wired. So. Olivia's just shaking her head. She's like, why? I'm just not paid enough for this.
She probably isn't. That's unfortunate.
What's interesting, though, Steve, is that she's going to miss us next year. Once we get in your mind, it's a dark place to be. So
the 2-2 to Nelson. Good battle here. Nelson
plops
this one into right field. Schulte, they're going to send Scully. Schulte bobbles, and Scully will come in to score. What a battle that was between Nelson and Griesbach.
That has to feel good for Claire. She has not been seeing the ball very well as of late. So outstanding job by Claire Nelson going ahead and getting the Royals on the board, making it 3-1 now here in the bottom of the third inning. 2 outs, and at the plate is Macy Vollert.
Pop up to second in the first with Nelson standing at first base here with 2 outs.
With the
rolls in there.
With the wind blowing out and Macy's power, she is a mistake away from going ahead and tying this ball game up.
Blowing straight out to left center field here at Robinson Park. Beautiful afternoon. A little chilly, but we are in the mid-April. No snow. We can be happy about that. Saw on the good old Twitterverse and Facebook, it's been 6 years since we had a 25-inch snow in mid-April. So had a big snowstorm in April a number of years ago. Hits the outside corner, and it runs the ball in 2 strikes.
We had a few flakes last night. That was a little bit disheartening, but for the most part, the nice thing about it is that it doesn't stick around, and the lawn's been fertilized. So we'll go ahead and take a little moisture.
1-2 here to Vollert. Slow roller over to third. Katzenberger, nice play, and Anderson takes it out at first. Taylor Anderson, last night and tonight, has played some awesome first base for the Auburndale Eagles. Royals score 1 on a couple of hits. They leave 1. We've played 3. New score, Auburndale 3, Assumption 1. You're watching high school softball on Zaleski Sports, presented by ShedsLiver.com.
Does your roof need attention? Don't replace it, restore it with Seamless Commercial Roofing. Our process is guaranteed and a fraction of the cost of replacement with no downtime. When your roof needs attention, call Seamless Commercial Roofing in Marshfield.
Welcome to Bruce Orthodontics, where we provide comprehensive orthodontic care to patients of all ages. We are now accepting new patients, and we accept most insurances.
Orthodontics is much more than just a job to me. It is my passion and my life. What separates us from other orthodontists is constant continuing education for myself and my staff, compassion, and dedication. Here at Bruce Orthodontics, we change lives one smile at a time. I'd love the opportunity to meet you and transform your smile.
Call us to set up your free consultation today.
8-9-1 due up here for Auburndale in the top of the 4th inning. Schulte, Schur, and Krings for the Eagles as they lead 3-1. When plumbing goes wrong, where can you turn? The answer is simply Williams Plumbing and Heating. For new construction or remodel and working with residential or commercial, you can put your trust in Williams Plumbing and Heating of Wisconsin Rapids. Schulte struck out looking to end the first inning. Left a couple of runners in scoring position for the Eagles. Jalen Schur waiting on deck. First offering. Now it's going to be lined to left and over on it. And Kylie Carroll making a nice play, and there's one away.
Carroll, after not having a ball hit to her last night, has had a busy day. As I'm not sure if it's by design or not, but they've been testing left fielder, and Kylie Carroll has been holding up well with 3 really nice catches, including on that ball, which is slicing away from her. Well done.
Jalen Schur now at the plate. Flew out to Kavanaugh in the 2nd inning. Looks at a ball high and in. Just like these players bring their best to the field, Ridgetop Exteriors brings top-tier performance to your home. Roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Ridgetop Exteriors has a winning strategy to protect your home. Visit RidgetopExteriors.com. Pulled the string on her that time, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Nobody on, 1 away. We play in the top half of inning number 4. Merriwood South Showdown. Assumption and Auburndale Part 2 here tonight. Squares the bunt, gets it down, and it'll roll foul. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
nice play by Hahn there to go ahead and come in and make sure that ball not only went foul but then stayed foul as she was right on top of it to be able to go ahead and touch it, making sure it didn't kick back.
Ball and 2 strikes here to the Auburndale left fielder. Popped up on the infield. Tough play. Schooley diving, but Aue's going to make the catch. Elena Aue ranging over and making the play, and there's 2 away.
Nice play by Aue. Schooley showing off some range. Again, making sure that you get some early season communication, but they got the out, so we're going to say that was well done.
Maya Krings at the plate. A double and a flyout tonight for Maya. First offering bounces in there, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. I'll be back with you on Thursday at the Quadplex, Wisconsin Rapids and Wausau East. Baseball, 5 o'clock first pitch on a Thursday night. The 1-0 fouled, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Playing right now up in Wausau, I believe.
When you said you were going to the quad, I didn't know if you meant you were going streaking or how that's going to work. As a little old school reference.
No bueno there. Wisconsin Rapids, Wausau East tied at 1 in the 3rd on the Ball Diamond. One of the newer turfed fields in Wisconsin is Wausau East baseball. Just got new lights up there as well last spring, I believe. Pacelli leads Medford 5-1. They're in the top of the 3rd inning. In softball, the 2-1 line foul, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Coach Ann and the Cardinals have got it rolling again this year, Steve. Again, a nice ball game earlier in the week as they beat Almond
last night,
going ahead and taking control of the conference. You know, it'll be interesting to see this year, Steve, the Oakfield, Assumption, and
the 2-2, a swing and a miss. We will get Paul's thought here in a second. We come back to the bottom of the 4th. Halfway through this one, that's the 4th Serve Pro Jamie Wenzel strikeout for Macy Vollert. 3-1 Auburndale. You're watching high school softball on Zaleski Sports, presented by ShedsDelivery.com.
After a couple years of this, it's time for more money, more opportunity. That's where Midstate Technical College comes in. Got a passion for helping people? Maybe you like cars. Are you into science? Are you good with computers? No matter your path, we've got cutting-edge classes with field-trained professionals and better tuition options. Stop getting by and level up today.
At Ridgetop, we are your trusted, local, affordable exterior renovations expert. Isn't that right, Bo?
Exactly, especially when we are working on someone's biggest investment.
Can you give us an example, Bo?
Well, there was this house. We replaced the roofing, siding, and windows. Then, they left a 5-star review.
One of our thousands of 5-star reviews?
Exactly.
For your free, no-obligation estimate, call us today or go to ridgetopexteriors.com.
It'll be Elena Aue, Brianna Aue, Jess Norton here in the bottom of the 4th. And, as you mentioned, 3 of the 4 teams that made state last year in Division 5 are all now in Division 4 in softball.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting piece. So what I was saying on that, Steve, is that with Oakfield, Pacelli, and Assumption being moved up,
there's a base or a hit over to second, underhanded by Grimm, and there's 1 away.
Grimm has had a nice ball game for Auburndale. She's had a lot of nice putouts and been very sure fielded. Anyway, with those 3 top teams in D5 moving up to D4, it's changed the D4 sectional. But what it's really kind of done, Steve, is it's opened up the door for a team like Almond Bancroft. Now again, you never know how it's all going to turn out. Maybe they would have beat Pacelli anyway, or maybe they would have make it, or maybe they won't make it anyway. But it's opened up the door for a team like Almond Bancroft. But it certainly changed the outcome of Auburndale, this is one of their best teams in a long time, and all of a sudden that sectional is now filled with
Going to be hit over to third and foul.
A very tough regional final game. So if we assume just for a second for this discussion, and I know there's a long way to go, if Pacelli is the 1 seed, you're going to see potentially Assumption and Auburndale play. One of those 2 teams isn't going to make it out of the regional final. And then you turn around and you have to play Pacelli and one of those 2 teams in the sectional final.
The 0-2 outside corner is good for a strike. That's the first strikeout of the night for Morgan Griesbach.
So the Royals doing a nice job putting the ball in play. And then, by the way, if you take a look at it, on the other side waits for you one of the traditional state powers in Cashton or Leave a Strum or what have you. So really a tough sectional for whoever comes through.
And that'll bring up Jess Norton, bounced out to the pitcher back in the second inning. Behind the fastball, and it's 0-1. Culligan Water specializes in all your water softener, drinking water, and water filtration systems. You can count on Culligan to keep your water pure and healthy with unparalleled service and convenient delivery options. The 0-1 to Jess Norton. Low and away, and it evens it up at a ball and a strike.
I worked a game in Port Edwards on Saturday from an officiating standpoint, and of course that's out by Ripple Creek, which is where the Port Edwards water tower is.
The 1-1 to Jess popped up. Look out, straight back.
I did not realize, no, I might be, that's the case. Did you realize that the water tower is not completely full of water?
I don't know.
Yeah, I did a little research on it in terms of where it goes. So the spherical shape, it's kind of the pressure.
1-2 away.
And it serves as a primary backup for a municipality of water. You really can't drink it out of there because it would have to be treated, so it's more for fire departments and what have you there. But I often wondered, typically you see those towers and you're like, oh, that must be completely full of water. For the most part, water towers are not full of water.
Try to check her swing, and they're going to appeal. No, he's not even going to ask for an appeal. The count runs full, 3-2 here to Jess Norton.
So unlike Major League Baseball, you can ask, but if your home plate umpire feels confident in the call, he does not have to go ahead and ask his partner for help. And a lot of times, in this case, his partner is down the first base line, so he theoretically could help, which he'll take on the ask of the appeal. But if he's at the second or third base position, the B or the C, then you really can't ask for the appeal, which is a lot of times why in high school sports you don't see that done.
3 balls and 2 strikes here to Jess. And got her looking, and that'll end the 4th inning. Back-to-back backwards Ks for Assumption. And we have played 4 completes. 3-1 Auburndale. You're watching high school softball on Zaleski Sports, presented by ShedsLiver.com.
Little Sprouts Learning Garden with 2 convenient central Wisconsin locations. Here's Brooke Sievers to tell us about it.
Little Sprouts has been around for almost 7 years here in Auburndale. In Rudolph, we've been open for about 2.5. We serve here in Auburndale, we have 6 weeks old up until 12-year-olds. And then in Rudolph, we have 1-year-olds up until 12-year-olds. The biggest thing that we do with them is we have play-based learning so that they learn through play with each other. And social skills are a huge part of what we do with them.
Find Little Sprouts Learning Garden on Facebook today.
Is your business, church, or organization getting a fair deal on your copier contracts? Do you even know how much you're spending? Bauer & Fine Business Technologies has been in the office technology industry for 70 years. We have an award-winning service department, and customers love our fair and flexible service contracts. If you're currently a customer, thank you. If you currently work with one of our competitors, let's talk. We can tell you if you're overpaying or getting a good deal. BBT, we want to be the easiest vendor you work with. b-bt.com.
Morgan Griesbach to lead things off here. We're in the top of the 5th inning already. 3-1 Assumption trailing. Macy Vollert in the circle. 4 Ks tonight for Macy. And foul straight back. Rode the top of the fence. Stays in play, but a foul ball, and it's 0-1.
So both pitchers have done a really good job, Steve, after that first inning of settling in. Again, it'll be interesting to see how much of a factor of seeing them in back-to-back nights is. I'd really like to ask the winning coach or player if that's a factor or not.
A ball and a strike here from Macy Vollert. The 1-1. Foul past Hahn, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. ShedsDeliver.com is your one-stop shop for sheds, barns, cabins, garages, greenhouses, chicken coops, and hunting blinds. They're all crafted by skilled Amish artisans. See their display lots in Marshfield, Medford, and Wisconsin Rapids. To get more information at ShedsDelivered.com. A ball and a strike here to the Auburndale pitcher, Morgan Griesbach. Missed high, does Vollert, and it runs even at 2-2. Breeley Grimm awaiting on deck, followed by Danica Blomberg. Danica, the big hit so far, a 2 RBI double in the first. And this is just a bit high that time to Griesbach, and the count runs full now, 3-2. Fowler fouls or wheels, and it hits Griesbach. And a leadoff base runner for Auburndale is Morgan Griesbach.
Did you hear about the shed that nobody talked to? Yeah, it was bored. Bored. Sorry.
Runner at first. Now Rob Schill out to have a conversation, and Charlie Nelson.
And we're going to get a pitching change.
We'll have that change. Reminder that Ski's Meat Market is your locally owned premier meat market filled with more than 30 flavors of brats, along with chicken, steaks, beef, deli meats, local and seasonal favorites, and more. It's all at Ski's Meat Market on Highway 10 east of Stevens Point. So we will have that pitching change and the defensive changes here. Ari Kavanaugh coming in to throw, and that will send Elena Aui out to right field and Macy Vollert over to second base. Mutual Lawassa Insurance, protecting homes, farms, and businesses since 1875. Visit mutuallawassa.com. Find agent near you. Coming up on Zaleski Sports on Thursday. See if Mike's got this updated. Of course he does. Big softball matchup in Amherst on Thursday night. Manawa Wolves and the Amherst Falcons. It could be a potential early season conference, don't want to say conference championship, but very high conference implications. Spash is at Wassa East, it says on here. I don't know if that's true or not. I wouldn't expect Mike to be wrong, but Spash at Wassa East, Freedom at Waupaca in baseball, Edgar's at Marathon in softball, Wassa West is at Marshfield in softball, Marshfield is at DC Everson baseball, Wassa East comes here to Wisconsin Rapids in baseball. Blair Taylor heads to Loyal to take on Loyal Greenwood in softball, Northland Pines is at Mosney in softball, and Spash is at Marshfield in girls soccer.
Yeah, interesting. It'd be interesting to see. Of course, Assumption played Amherst earlier across ways, and they get the Amherst-Manawa matchup. And then on April 25th, Manawa comes right here to Robinson Park to take on the Royals as well. So opportunity to see a lot of those good local teams as you get a chance to see on Zaleski Sports. Really, you get a chance to see teams throughout all the state, but another interesting day.
Really Grimm at the plate. First offering from Kavanaugh is swung on and missed, and it's 0-1. So slight changes, not much, as Emerson Bry also moved from right to center. Squares the bunt, offered at it and missed. Did Grimm, and it's 0-2. Grimm a sacrifice bunt and a single today for Auburndale. We play in the fifth. 3-1 Eagles on top. Split the doubleheader here last year. The last couple years they did. The 0-2. Outside.
Last year, if you remember, Steve, that was the doubleheader at home. It was really a chilly ball game.
It was freezing.
Very chilly early in the year. Griesbach struck out just about everybody in the first game.
The 1-2 here. Fouled at the plate off of Nelson.
She did not start the second game. The Royals, I think, put up 4 or 5 runs, and then Griesbach came in and struck out everybody again in the second game. But by that point, Auburndale was not able to come back, and that was kind of a split, which early in the season was big. But as it turns out, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Stratford.
The 1-2, slow roller to first, and Aui is going to tag Grimm. But does the job. Griesbach over to second with 1 out.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe that Auburndale and Stratford split conference last year. If I'm not mistaken on that, I think that's how that works. So anyway, it'll be an interesting battle this year again, Steve. I think we already talked about it once, but I'll just reinforce. Marywood South Conference softball, absolutely some of the best in the state.
First offering to Danica Blomberg is a ball. Yeah, we mentioned it last year actually during that doubleheader, and then we had former Assumption great, I guess you can call her, great, Ava Schill tune in, and that there's back-to-back doubleheaders here at Assumption for softball. The year before that, so 2 years ago, she came in to pitch to one girl in the bottom of the 7th inning and gave up a walk-off home run, and that was.
Of course, now she's UWGB, a proud Phoenix.
Yeah, they're out in Minneapolis today. The 1-1 popped up. Tough play, foul territory, and it's going to be a foul. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, out to no. She was standing in foul territory. Yep. 1 ball and 2 strikes. But in Minneapolis today, or I guess St. Paul, taking on St. Thomas in a doubleheader. So St. Thomas Tommies in Minnesota.
Now, I believe her sister played for St. Thomas when they were at Division III, if I'm not mistaken.
Line to right field, and they're going to send Griesbach. The throw home is not going to be made, and Danica Blomberg drives in her 3rd run of the night.
Boy, and that, Steve, now looms as a big potential dropped ball. So instead of a harmless fly ball to the 3rd baseline, and again, with the wind, there is no such thing as an easy play. So I'm not going to say it's an easy fly ball, it's a harmless fly ball. But a play that you'd expect to be made doesn't get made, and now you get a run on a really nice piece of hitting off of a single to right field. So Auburndale extends that lead 4-1 here in the 5th inning. And once again, you look at that run and the extra run that came from the overthrow in that 1st inning, and instead of a 2-1 ball game, now you find yourself 4-1, and against a pitcher like Griesbach, it's really tough when you make that hole any deeper than it needs to be.
A ball and a strike here to Taylor Anderson. 2 for 2 tonight is the senior. She swings and misses, and runs a ball and 2 strikes. Blomberg stands at first, an early candidate for our player of the game, if Auburndale is able to hang on here tonight. There's a swing and a miss. Throw down to second and dropped by Schooley. Stolen base there for Blomberg.
There's something you don't see very often, a swiped base against Claire Nelson. Typically, Steve, with as much with Claire's arm, that it's very rare that you have teams even test it. And when you take a look at it, now we're going to get a courtesy runner for the catcher as into the ballgame comes number 4.
I'll have to look.
Okay. Anyway, number 4 is in the ballgame to run.
Chesney Nagel at the plate.
Doug Kraus going ahead and informing the booth that it's number 4 into the ballgame, the courtesy runner for the catcher.
A very rare, I mean, not rare, but there are very few umpires that do that for us, and that is very appreciative.
I'm telling you, Steve, one of the absolute best crews in the area.
Runner at second and 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Dropped by Nelson as Nagel, a strikeout and a sacrifice tonight. Alexis Goddard in for the Eagles. There's a swing and a miss. 0-2 to Nagel.
Steve doing research on the fly. It's why Steve May is absolutely one of the best around. Best in the business, as we like to tip his cap to.
No balls and 2 strikes, 2 away here. Kavanaugh stares in. Wheels and deals. Misses again. Dropped. Throw to third is not in time. That's as you see Nelson clenching that catching hand. She's had a couple of drops in this at bat. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Nagel.
Yeah, wonder if the cold weather makes that glove maybe a little bit slippery.
Grounder over to Schooley at short. That'll end our 5th inning. Got a run on a hit, 1 left. We played 4.5. New score, Auburndale 4, Assumption 1. You're watching high school softball on Zaleski Sports, presented by ShedsLiver.com.
Maida Custom Apparel, your local source for quality, custom decorated clothing and products. Discover a wide range of products from corporate casual wear to team uniforms, promotional items, sporting goods, and awards. Don't settle for less. With our in-house production, we will make your name or event stand out with custom sports jerseys, branded cooler bags, and personalized can coolers. Celebrate team success with custom awards and promotional items. At Maida Custom Apparel, we put your brand first. Explore your options today at MaidaCustom.com.
Hey, you're tuned in to Better Halves.
Skip, I love my hometown, and I want a health plan that feels the same way. So, what are your favorite local date spots?
Oh,
Yeah, I know like all the date spots in Eclair.
Jane, I'm Steve from security. I've lived here in Wisconsin my whole life, and that means I understand your health coverage needs better.
By the way, Doug, it's Eau Claire. I have a dozen Eclairs in my dressing room.
Close in on 6 o'clock here in central Wisconsin. Steve Mays, Paul Jaglinski, Olivia Zimmerman from beautiful Robinson Park in Wisconsin Rapids. Delaney Hahn to lead things off for Assumption in the home half of the 5th inning. Hahn behind, and it's 0-1. Mutual of Austin Insurance, protecting homes, farms, and businesses since 1875. Visit mutualwausau.com. Find agents near you.
I was watching one of those murder mystery shows last night, and within the first 2 minutes, the detective on scene knew who the murderer was. It was a briefcase.
1 ball and 1 strike. Griesbach, there's a base hit for, nice play out there by Chesney Nagel. For sure thought that was going to be a hit for Delaney Hahn. Good swing there by Delaney. Better play out there by Nagel.
Nagel had her position really well. She was shaded just on the right field side of second base and right about the perfect depth, as a nice play by Nagel to go ahead and retire the first out of the inning, and that brings up Emerson Bry.
Bry, ground ball over to short. Backhanded by Krings. Couldn't get a good handle on it, and give her a base hit.
Absolutely. Emerson's going to be pretty quick on that. It was nice, though, to see Krings go ahead and plant on that knee. There does not look like she's having any ill effects of that whatsoever, Steve, which is really excellent to see. Again, lost mid-season for the Eagles, a mid-basketball season for the Eagles. So I don't know if she had surgery, if she held off on it or what have you. That's none of my business. But great to see her back out there playing and playing at a high level.
Bryce stands at first. Schooley looks at a ball high. 1 ball and no strikes.
And you kind of feel, Steve, if the Royals are going to get back into it, this is a spot. You have Bry on first base, Anna Schooley, who's been swinging a hot bat for the Royals. Behind her comes Kavanaugh and then Claire Nelson. This feels like an opportunity for the Royals to get a couple on the board.
Bry stands at first with 1 out. Schooley fouls it at the plate, evens it up at a ball and a strike. Next up, prosthetics. They've been providing prosthetics and orthotics throughout central Wisconsin. Take your next step and contact them today. Bry stands at first after an infield base hit with 1 out. Schooley 2 for 2 today, a double and a single for Anna. Griesbach gets one that she likes and fires home on the 1-1. Breaking ball, or off-speed pitch popped up to short. And Maya is going to make the easy catch, and there's 2 away.
And that brings up number 24, Ari Kavanaugh, the new pitcher for the Royals. So Kavanaugh and Nelson with Emerson Bry on first base. Royals trailing 4-1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning with 2 outs.
Kavanaugh 0 for 2 tonight. A pop out to second and a fly out to right. Over to third. It is a fair ball. Wow, dropped at first. That was a heck of a play by Maya Katzenberger.
At first base. Yeah. Again, I think it's one of those deals where Katzenberger made a decent throw. Unfortunately, the first baseman was unable to go ahead and dig it out. I think if she did, they have her by a half step to a step, even with Kavanaugh's speed.
Claire Nelson at the plate, a strikeout and a single to right. RBI single back in the 3rd inning. There's foul at the plate. Great speed on the paths for Assumption here with 2 outs. Rapid Sheet Metal Heating and Cooling. Place your comfort at home as our highest priority. Give them a call or find them online at rapidsheetmetal.com.
Nelson was so good for the Royals last year in this spot. It seemed like every time she came up with a runner on base, she was able to go ahead and knock him in last year.
The 0-1 got her on the off speed, and it's 0-2 to Nelson. Macy Vollard on deck. Bry at second, Kavanaugh at first with 2 outs. Griesbach on the 0-2. Going to be hit to center and right at Chesney Nagel. Line shot, but right out to Nagel, and Chesney makes the catch to end the 5th inning. No runs on a base hits, 1 error and 2 left on. We played 5 complete, still 4-1 Auburndale. We're watching high school softball on Zaleski Sports, presented by ShedsLiver.com.
Take your valuable possessions from outdoors to indoors with help from ShedsDelivered.com. It's your one-stop shop for sheds, barns, cabins, garages, greenhouses, chicken coops, and hunting blinds, all crafted by skilled Amish artisans. Headquartered in Loyal, Rod and April make it easy. Just visit ShedsDelivered.com to design your perfect structure. With short lead times and free delivery and installation, Sheds Delivered is the smart choice for outdoor storage. That's ShedsDelivered.com. Go today.
Is it time to replace your old gutters? Call Schwartz Seamless Gutters and protect your home with new seamless technology. No seams, no leaks. With free estimates in 2 days or less and workmanship guaranteed, our service is as seamless as our gutters.
Mike Katzenberger to lead things off here in the Auburndale 6th inning, followed by Grace Schulte and Jalen Schur. For all your tire and auto service needs, look to Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Great deals on tires that fit your needs is a sure thing to get you back on the road. That's Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. No time better than now to get it looked at as the weather starts to warm up. First offering to Katzenberger misses. A double and a strikeout for Maya tonight. He's played some very good third base for the Eagles as well. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Oh, jeepers, guy. Turn it off, Len. Nope. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Katzenberger. There's a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Maya Katzenberger. Kavanaugh comes set and fires. Swing. Yep, there's a serve pro Jamie Wenzel strikeout, and there's one away for Auburndale. Second strikeout for Kavanaugh. That'll bring up Grace Schulte, a strike on a flyout tonight for Auburndale. There's a strike.
Now batting number 6, right fielder Grace Schulte. That first batter was Maya Katzenberger.
Jalen Schur waiting on deck. No balls and a strike here from Kavanaugh. Squares the bunt, offered at it and missed. And it's 0-2 now to Schulte. Fill your home with the best. Fill your home with the best from Home Furniture. They've got locations on Grand Avenue in Wisconsin Rapids and Post Road in Plover. The 0-2 here to Schulte. Misses high and away. Still popping the mitt there from Kavanaugh. Good velocity there from Ari.
One of the things that's a little bit of a different between Macy and Ari from a pitching standpoint is that Ari tends to just rear back and use the speed ball, which you've seen right there, to go ahead and retire batters. Macy's a little bit more pinpoint with her accuracy in terms of trying to hit her spots, but Ari, there's just times that she just decides to rear back and let it fly.
They bring up Jalen Schur. That was the third serve pro Jamie Wenzel strikeout for Ari Kavanaugh. 2 away here in the 6th. There's a swing and a miss. Jalen tonight, a fly out to center and a pop out to second. Top of the order, 2 up next for Auburndale. Off-speed pitch, misses low and away. Evens it up at a ball and a strike. Kavanaugh, the 1-1. Blew it past her again. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Williams Plumbing and Heating is locally owned and operated right here in Wisconsin Rapids. Call Williams Plumbing and Heating or find them online at williamsplumbingwr.com. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Missed a tad bit outside. Evens it up at 2-2. Maya Krings awaits on deck for the Lady Eagles.
So bottom top here for the Eagles.
Missed outside again. Counter runs full now to Jalen Schur. Assumption will have 4, 5, and 6 in the home half of the 6th inning, trailing 4-1, trying to keep it at that deficit. 3-2, and Kavanaugh strikes out the side here in the 6th. 3 straight serve pro Jamie Wenzel strikeouts. We've played 5.5. 4-1 Auburndale. You're watching high school softball on Zaleski Sports, presented by ShedsLiver.com.
Are you tired of being a boring old tree, bird, or mythical war hero? Find the right job for you at Express Employment. Stop today and discuss positions that fit your abilities and qualifications, leading you to the perfect job. Always local, always strategically selected to match your skill set with local employers. There's a perfect job out there. Let Express Employment professionals help you find it. In Wausau, Stevens Point, Medford, and Marshfield. Find jobs and apply online at expresspros.com.
Ski's Meat Market is your locally owned premier meat market filled with so many delicious favorites featuring hundreds of varieties of bratwurst, chicken, pork, steak, and so much more. No matter what you're looking for, everything you'll find at Ski's Meat Market is always fresh with so many local gems including pizzas, salsas, deli meats, and a variety of homemade dips, pasta salads, veggies, loaded baked potatoes, and drinks. Ski's is a one-stop shop for all your culinary needs. They're always adding new flavors and specialty products. Ski's Meat Market on Highway 10 East in Stevens Point. Their quality is worth the stop.
Macy Voller to lead things off here in the home half of the 6th inning, followed by Elena Owie and Brianna Owie for Assumption here in the bottom of the 6th. Griesbach fires home and hits this strike. Hits the zone for a strike.
Ideally, Steve, you'd like to go ahead and get a few runners on base and get some runs across, of course. But it's important you get a few runners on base.
The 0-1 pulled the string on her, nothing in 2.
As you sit in the bottom of the 6th inning with 4, 5, 6, and of course 7, 8, 9, it leaves Anna when you take a look at it. So again, you'd like to ensure you can get yourself back to Schooley, Kavanaugh, Nelson if you can.
The 0-2. Missed just a bit outside, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ski Savings Bank is banking made easy. They've got locations in Rome and Wisconsin Rapids. Bank local with Key Savings Bank.
Check them out the other day. They're very interesting.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
Olivia's like, no more. She can't take any more. Not any good. Actually went in for a change for $1. I asked for 4 quarters. They said, yep, that makes sense.
2 balls and 2 strikes there. Is it not working? Oh, it's just that they're winning. Oh. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fowler, that one misses high. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Macy doing a nice job going ahead and battling at the plate, working the count full. So bottom of the 6th inning, Royals trail 3-1 to the Auburndale Eagles. No outs, 3-2 to the count.
Griesbach fires home and pops up and out of play. Meta Custom Apparel specializes in providing quality decorated apparel, including from corporate casual, team uniforms, and promotional items to sporting goods and awards. Find just what you need to keep you looking great. Learn more at MadaCustom.com. That's MADA Custom.com. The 3-2 from Griesbach. Missed inside, and a leadoff walk. The second walk issued by Morgan tonight. And a leadoff base runner for Elena Owie. A walk and a ground out tonight for Elena.
So if you're the Royals, that's exactly the start you're looking for in this particular inning. Again, that will, providing that end up with some kind of a double play, that'll get you back to Anna Schooley in the 7th inning. So great start for the Royals here.
Elena pops this one up and foul, and it's 0-1 for Owie. Like Carrie Van Ert with State Farm, be your go-to for all your insurance needs. Carrie and her staff are always there to help you understand your options and come away with the right coverage for you. That's Carrie Van Ert with State Farm here in Wisconsin Rapids. No balls and a strike to the Royals right fielder, Elaine Owie. And check swing foul, and it's 0-2 now to Elena. Stick around for our Key Savings Bank post-game show. We'll have an opportunity to talk to winning player of the game at least. Not sure. Well, for sure I have a player. I can guarantee that. Coaches sometimes don't want to talk, and that's perfectly okay. That's their prerogative. And again, we are here for the student athletes. That's what we do for them. And obviously all of you watching, but the main focus here at Zaleski Sports is the student athletes. The 1-2 outside. Count runs even at 2-2.
Always a thrill to be put in the highlight house.
Yeah, and covering, I mean, all these girls obviously in the area, Assumption and Auburndale alike, know exactly what they're doing with that. 2-2 popped up and out of play. And they always have a good time with it. Absolutely. 4-1 Auburndale, bottom half of inning number 6. Burrs back in action tonight. Got spanked by the Tigers last night. Still trying to find their way with their pitching staff. The 2-2. And got her looking on the inside corner, and there's one away. Strikeout number 3 for Morgan Griesbach.
The Brewers have been a real Jekyll and Hyde squad this year. Again, third and starting pitching and third base are areas that have been real deficient for them so far.
Yeah, giving up a lot of runs. Giving up a lot of runs this year so far. Have the crew. He swings and misses there, and it's 0-1. Brianna reached out a fielder's choice and struck out looking. Runner at first is Vollert. Led the inning off with a walk. Griesbach fires again. Off speed, bounced in there, and it's 1-1 strike. Blomberg again doing a nice job behind the plate. Whether you're catching a game or gaming with friends, Solaris Fiber Fast Internet gives you the edge. No buffering, no delays, just smooth, reliable service from a local company you can trust. Get connected today at Solaris.net. The 1-1 popped up straight back, and it's 1-2. We'll be back with you again on Thursday. Olivia and I will be over at the Quadplex at Lincoln High School, Wisconsin Rapids, Wausau East. Boys baseball in Wisconsin Valley Conference play. Last look, I'll have to look again. They were only in the top of the first inning, but Merrill was up 1-0 on Spash. Outside corner and missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That'll be one to take a look at. Mike Wendland over at beautiful Buchholz Park, the home of the 2025 American Legion State Tournament.
Oh, really? I did
Wisconsin.
not know that, Steve.
Yep. The 2-2. Inside corner miss. Count runs full again. Third straight, second, 2 of 3 batters have gone full.
It's another beautiful Central Wisconsin ballpark. If you've not had a chance to see a game in Stevens Point, go check that out. You'll enjoy that facility.
Regional for Legion in Wisconsin Rapids after they hosted state last year. 3-2 popped up and out of play, and State at Buchholz this year. We got very fortunate. Zaleski Sports was able to, except going up to Marinette. That was a long trip, but a beautiful facility up in Marinette. This last year is in Wisconsin Rapids. This year it's in Stevens Point. Next year it's up at Jack Hackman Field in Marshfield. So, yeah, couldn't have asked for much better with for coverage, at least, for Zaleski Sports, not having to travel.
Absolutely outstanding crossway. Steve, it looks like we're going to get a pinch hitter coming up next.
3-2 missed inside and a walk to Brianna Howie. So 2 on and 1 out now for Regan Stabloski.
Yep, number 25 coming into the ballgame in the designated player spot. Number 25, as you stated, Regan Stabloski hitting. So now there's runners on first and second. Howie on first. Macy Vollard on second. 1 out. Bottom of the 6th inning. 4-1 Auburndale over Marathon here as we play at Robinson Park in a pretty important softball game for Merriwood South and sectional purposes.
Investor's Choice is Wisconsin Rapids' choice for financial investments. Understanding markets and helping you keep a well-rounded financial well-being is as simple as visiting Investor's Choice for a conversation. That's Investor's Choice of Wisconsin Rapids. You can check out all these games at ZaleskiSports.com. We'll have highlights of quite a few of them coming up tomorrow morning on Facebook and YouTube. Bring up Regan Stabloski. First offering is knuckled foul into the Auburndale dugout, and it's 0-1.
Now batting number 25, Riley Stabloski.
Regan Stabloski. 2 on, 1 out here for Stabloski. Checked her swing, missed high, evens it up at a ball and a strike. Ski's Meat Market in Stevens Point is a perfect place to find a huge selection of brats, beef, chicken, and more. Get your specialty grocery items, deli meats, and even bring in your wild game. Get all at Ski's Meat Market. Their quality is with the stop. Going to be hit to short. Tough play. Krings across and in time. But Sobolowski moves the runners over now with 2 outs for Delaney Hahn.
Sobolowski with a really nice piece of hitting there, Steve. Had it in on her hands, but was able to find some dirt with it. Advances the runner. So now you have Vollert on third, Aui on second, 2 outs, and up comes Delaney Hahn. And a base hit can put the Royals right back into this thing here in the bottom of the 6th inning with a 4-1 deficit that they're facing.
Hahn lined one out to right center field her last at-bat. Swing and a miss behind the fastball, and it's 0-1. Emerson Bry waiting on deck. Top of the order due up for Auburndale in the top of the 7th inning.
You know, Steven, even if the Royals don't get a run across here, well, the importance of it is that now you get a chance to go. You're going to have to go ahead and have an opportunity to get Schooley, Kavanaugh, Nelson back up through the order. And even if Hahn doesn't get on, you lead off with Bry, a good, nice slap hitter. So, again, the Royals doing what they needed here in this inning. And now we'll see if they can get a run on top of it.
The 1-1, Hahn fouls that one out of play. Evens it up or runs 1 ball and 2 strikes. 4-1 Auburndale scored 3 in the first on 3 doubles against Macy Vollert.
It's like Oprah. You get a double, and you get a double.
Griesbach gets one she likes. Swings and misses, and that'll end the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, a couple of walks, 2 left on. Griesbach picks up a couple more strikeouts. She's got 4 tonight, and we head to the 7th inning. It is 4-1 Auburndale. You're watching high school softball on Zaleski Sports, presented by ShedSliver.com.
The auto service specialist at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service can change your oil, fix your brakes, align your vehicle, make that check engine light go away, and more. Great service from great people at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
Hi, this is Jill from Home Furniture and Design. Since 1970 and 4 generations, our family has been proudly offering quality furniture like Lazy Boy, Serta, and the Amish to Central Wisconsin. We also offer free in-home design with our professionally trained designers to help you create a space that is uniquely yours, whether it's just a sofa or the entire home.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
West Grand Avenue, Wisconsin Rapids, and Post Road in Plover.
All right, we go to the 7th inning here. It'll be 1, 2, and 3 for Auburndale. Maya Krings fouls that one at the plate, and it's 0-1.
Krings started off the game with a hard-hit line drive double to left field, which went ahead and started the rally for the Eagles as they went ahead and were able to plate 3 runs in that first inning and really have kind of been in control of this contest really wire to wire so far, Steve. That ball is called the ball. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Top of the 7th inning here. Eagles lead the Royals 4-1. Art Kavanaugh in relief for Macy Vollert, who started the ballgame. Griesbach still pitching for the Eagles. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, top of the 7th.
Yeah, it's going to be really important, obviously, for Assumption to keep this deficit at just 3 going into the bottom of the 7th inning, with 9, 1, and 2 coming up for the Royals. 2-2. Krings hits that one off the ground, and Kavanaugh throws out Krings, and there's 1 away.
And of course, the Eagles looking for a Kerry Van Aert insurance run here in the top half of the 7th inning. But yeah, to your point, Steve, there's huge difference in this game between being down 3 compared to being down 4 or more. And again, I'm drawn back to a couple plays in this particular ball game where the Royals were not sharp on a throw from left to shortstop to third in the first inning. Instead of holding the runner at second, they allowed a runner to advance. That was ultimately counted for the 3rd run for Auburndale. And then in the 5th inning, there was a dropped ball on the left field side in foul territory. And on the next pitch, Blomberg went ahead and did a great job of hitting and hit a hard hit line drive to the right field side of it. So instead of this game being 2-1, which it very easily could be, 4-1, and that deficit against this pitcher is a significant difference. But again, the Royals will have bottom and then top of the lineup coming up, so you could not ask for a better spot in the lineup for the Royals if they can get out of here just down 3.
The 1-2. Griesbach fouls it at the plate. Just staying alive there is Morgan. Breely Grimm awaiting on deck for Auburndale. Again, Assumption will have the rest of the week off for games, and then they'll have Edgar next week coming here, I believe, to Wisconsin Rapids. I think that's what the schedule looks like.
Steve, are you an Easter ham guy?
Usually, but this year we're having just a little intimate Easter this year, so we're going breakfast food. So,
very nice. I like it.
Crepes and egg bake.
Ooh.
We have Lindsay, my wife, makes a biscuits and gravy bake.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, Paul, it is.
I was just gonna say now you got a guy thinking that sounds really good across the way. We're gonna go something non-traditional. We're gonna try our first attempt at beer can chicken.
2-2, ground ball over to Scully at short. Gobbles it up across and in time to retire Griesbach, and there's 2 away.
Nice play by Anna there across the way. So I found a little stand that you can actually attach to your grill. So I've got 2 of those, and going to try our first attempt at beer can chicken for the Easter Sunday holiday. So a little bit of a different piece in terms of where it goes. Hope that every bunny out there has a happy Easter and has exactly some good food. So.
There's a strike to Grimm. She sacrificed a single and a ground out in her 3 plate appearances.
You know, Steve, she's played a really nice ball game out at center field as well. She's another, I think, strong candidate for our Zaleski Sports Highlight House player of the ball game. I'm very impressed with Grimm today.
A ball and a strike here to Breely. The 1-1. Swung on and missed, and it's 1-2. When I come over for WrestleMania on Sunday night, I'll bring you some. Biscuits and gravy bake.
I'm looking for it. I'm going to hold you to it right now. Who we got? We got Cena or Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare.
The 1-2 misses outside. I don't know. I just can't see John winning. I don't know.
It's one of those deals. The 17th championship. Heel Cena seems like a good piece there in terms of where it goes. So.
Deuce are wild here in the 7th. The 2-2. Fouled at the plate. Hits Grimm in the box, so she's all right. 2-2 here now to Breely. Great crowd watching online. Appreciate you all tuning in. It's closing in on 6:30 here in Central Wisconsin. Merriwood South girls softball here on Zaleski Sports. Slow roller over to Hahn at third. Gobbles, steps, throws. Oh, he's able to keep her foot at first. We go to the 7th. Last shot here for Assumption. It'll be 9-1-2 when we come back. You're watching high school softball on Zaleski Sports, presented by ShedsDeliver.com.
Culligan Water delivers. From your first call, to your first sip, to your first soak. Culligan, give us a tap. The only water that comes with a van.
Take your valuable possessions from outdoors to indoors with help from ShedsDelivered.com. It's your one-stop shop for sheds, barns, cabins, garages, greenhouses, chicken coops, and hunting blinds, all crafted by skilled Amish artisans. Headquartered in Loyal, Rod and April make it easy. Just visit ShedsDelivered.com to design your perfect structure. With short lead times and free delivery and installation, Sheds Delivered is the smart choice for outdoor storage. That's ShedsDelivered.com. Go today.
Pacelli 11-1.
There.
There we go. I turned it down and said, never mind. We're good. 9-1-2 here for Assumption in the home half of the 7th inning. It'll be Bry, Scully, and Kefanaugh against Morgan Griesbach here in the 7th.
And again, what the hope for the Royals is you put 2 runners on and get yourself to Nelson in the lineup.
First offering to Emerson Bry's. Ground ball over to Krings. Bobbled there by Maya. The throw is late, and Bry reaches on the error.
And with Bry's speed, that was going to be a tough play for Krings, even if she went ahead and fielded that clean. But there's the exact start that the Royals needed. So now you have a runner on first base with Schooley, Kavanaugh, and Nelson coming up, and Vollert's power across the way. So in the bottom of the 7th, Royals are going to give themselves a chance to make this game exciting. One more base runner on, Steve, and we'll have some drama.
And a Schooley tonight. Double, single, and a pop-out. Popped up and out of play. Shadows can.
A well-played ball game tonight. For the most part, good fielding, good hitting. Both pitchers, well, actually all 3 pitchers, I should say, have really had a nice job controlling the zone. Fun softball game here at Robinson Park.
The 0-1. Schooley lines that one to second, and they double her off. Oh, what a play by Breely Grimm at second base, and Bry gets doubled off, and there's 2 away.
Not too much that Emerson can do on that. She was definitely going to go ahead and be off of the pitch. Great play once again by Grimm. Had Schooley positioned just perfectly. That ball a foot to the right or left. Now you're talking about runners on second and third. But now 2 outs, and the Royals down the last out as Kavanaugh steps in.
First offering to Ari Kavanaugh, misses away. Yeah, talked her right into it. Just a great defense for all around tonight, and continues there for Breely.
Once again, Grimm having just a heck of a ball game, Steve. I think a really strong candidate for the Highlight House player. She's had multiple putouts and just played a really nice game at second base.
2-0 count here to Kavanaugh.
Beat me to it. There you go.
Swing and a miss at a high one, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Yeah. Put Blomberg on in the player of the game for offense and really Grimm for defense.
Love it.
No doubt. 2 balls and a strike. Off speed misses away, and it's 3-1.
So again, if Kavanaugh can reach base, you bring up Claire Nelson and then Macy Vollert in the hole. Again, with Macy's ability to swing the bat and the wind blowing out, Royals still not out of this here with 2 outs. But again, the play by Grimm.
3-1. And now it's going to be hit hard to right. Schulte backing up, and that'll do it. And the Auburndale Eagles pick up a road win here tonight over the Assumption Royals with a final score of 4-1. An outstanding ball game, as we've mentioned, by both teams. We'll have our Key Savings Bank post-game show coming up next here on Zaleski Sports. 4-1 Auburndale. You've been watching high school girls softball on Zaleski Sports, presented by ShedsLiver.com.
We have something that we're trying to create at Key Savings Bank called Outward Energy. We don't just want to have the doors open, our members walk through. We want to be where they are. We go to meet them, we participate in their events. We think that's vitally important for us to show that Key Savings Bank is a part of the communities that we're in.
We received a very positive reaction from our community. On average, we had 250 to 300 kids alone that entered our building for the Halloween party. That didn't include the adults, grandparents, parents that brought the children. It's wonderful to be out in our community grocery shopping with my Key Savings Bank apparel, and families walk up to me and say, "Hey, I attended your Halloween party."
So about a month ago, I was approached by Sheriff Becker of Wood County Sheriff's Department, and he asked me if we'd want to participate in the Back the Badge bench press meet. So Key Savings Bank sponsored, had a $500 sponsorship to that, and I myself participated in that. And it was a really great experience. There was about 40 different people that participated throughout Wood County and actually the state. So with the Sheriff's Department obviously doing so much for us and throughout the community, it was just our way of giving back.
And now when I tell my friends and family what I'm doing or what I do every day or what involvements I'm doing, they're like, "Oh, that's the bank that offered the Halloween party. That's the bank that does the Christmas party. That's the bank that sponsors these golf events." So our awareness alone has just become amazing in the last year.
Key Savings Bank participates in a lot of these events. We love to do it. We love to know the community and the other businesses within the community. It's rewarding to see smiling faces. The kids event, when we bring them pizza, there's not just one winner, there's multiple winners. Cheese pizza is one of the coolest things that these kids love. And just seeing the smiling faces is outstanding. Probably the funnest event that we do is what you see behind me here is our coloring contest for the local kids. It's a fun event. We do a lot of fun stuff with it on our Facebook page. The voting goes nuts because it's the community that votes for it. And at the end, there's a lot of participation. So that's the best event.
We had Thursday grill outs. We did that. We were raising money for the Rome Canine Division. We set up in mid-June to have grill outs each and every Thursday, all the way through till the middle of August.
Numerous amount of golf outings where we raise money specifically for that event through our whole sponsorships and games that we play.
My employees right now are all very active in participating in literally hundreds of events over the last 2 years that make Key Savings Bank a part of this community. We think that's very important.
Turn it. Jeez Louise, I need a... Welcome back to Robinson Park here in Wisconsin Rapids. The Auburndale Eagles pick up a 4-1 win here tonight over the Assumption Royals, as you're here with Danica Blomberg and Breeley Grimm. Danica, 3 runs in the first inning, 2 RBI double for you. What was the key getting on Macy Vollert right away in the circle after seeing her last night as well?
Well, this was, I think, my 4th or 5th at bat against her, so I knew what she was going to come with. I knew she was going to try to throw a strike in the first 2 pitches and then go high. So I just nailed the first strike that I saw, and I got it over to left field, which was good because the wind helped a lot.
Perfect. We'll bring in, don't go too far, we'll bring in Breeley Grimm. Yeah, switch spots here. Breeley, obviously one of the biggest plays of the game right there in the 7th inning, a double play to get 2 quick outs. Just talk about defensively, you guys 1 or 2 errors maybe tonight as a team. Talk about how big playing well in the field helps you guys.
I think it creates indoor offense, and to back up Morgan, because she's one heck of a pitcher, and to be able to back up our pitcher and make her feel good about pitching good and that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, and turning right around after a tough loss last night and getting a big conference win here on the road against Assumption, what does that do for your team's confidence getting a big win?
It gives us a big confidence boost. After last night, it was kind of hard to lose last night, but we came in today knowing that we wanted this win and came back harder to play today than we did yesterday.
Perfect. All right, we'll put you guys in the house, all right?
Okay.
I'll give you, what to do, I assume?
Yeah,
I'm
I do.
Danica Blomberg. Do it together. I'm Danica Blomberg. I'm Breeley Grimm, and we're in the house.
Okay.
All right, I'll back out here.
Ready?
Go ahead.
I'm Danica Blomberg.
And I'm Breeley Grimm.
And we're in the house.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, with that, we're going to sign things off here from Wisconsin Rapids. 4-1 Auburndale over Assumption here tonight as the conference continues to heat up. Just the first 2 games of conference play, but it is going to be a fun ride all spring long in the Merriwood South here in 2025. I'll be back with you tomorrow, or on Thursday, Wausau East and Wisconsin Rapids from the Quadplex Baseball on Thursday night at 5 o'clock. For Olivia Zimmerman, Paul Jaglinski, this is Steve Ive signing off. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you for tuning in. We'll talk to you again Thursday.